When I say, who's the master? You say, no.
What is up, guys? Sean the King here, back with another video, and today I finally get to talk about something that I've been dying to talk to you guys about for months. And when I say months, I mean months. DC Universe has finally unveiled its new streaming service. We still don't have pricing yet, but we do got a lot of information that was provided to us. The website is officially launched. You can get signed up for the beta. We're going to go through all that. We're going to scroll through the website. We're going to get my opinions on it, what I want to see, what I have seen that I've enjoyed, and some of the things that make me look nervous, and just talk about pricing structures, things of that nature. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so here we go. So first things first, we officially know now that the service is going to launch this fall. As far as like content that we're going to get live action, we're going to get animated, we're going to get access to the library of DC movies, which is the Tim Burton Batman films, all the Superman movies. We're going to also get access to TV shows. We're going to get access to Teen Titans. We're going to get access to the original Young Justice. Again, we're going to also get access to Young Justice Outsiders and a Harley Quinn animated show as well. Now, I did just hear off the wire, unfortunately, it looks like not Teen Titans, but Young Justice had been not canceled, but it's been delayed until 2019. So that is a bit of a bummer. But taking a look at Robin in his all his glory gives me hope, because again, the Titan show is starting to look a lot better than I thought it would, especially with all that controversy that came out with the young black lady who is playing the role of Starfire. And again, to kind of put that out there, I do kind of feel some type of way about that, because it is a little weird to see a character who is an alien who is orange being played by a black person. But again, as long as, and again, to me, she's supposed to be an alien. This is not about a black-white thing. At first, I was thinking along the lines of maybe that was just her street form, where she could turn her, kind of like how Megan did Morgan from Young Justice, and, you know, see how she was able to, she was a Martian, you know, when she was on missions, but whenever she was out and about with the rest of the group as a regular civilian, she turned herself into a, you know, freckle-faced white girl with, you know, teen issues. So at first I thought that was kind of the angle that they were going to go with Starfire, but in actuality, no, it looks like they just decided to make Starfire a black woman. And again, the actress is very beautiful. You know, I think she'll do a great job at the role, but again, my initial thought was I was going to see Starfire as a orange-faced alien who's hot. So, you know, again, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, so we'll go with that. Now, as far as the other live action shows that they're going to have, they're going to also have Doom Patrol, and they're going to also have Swamp Thing. Now, again, those two shows in and of itself, I'm a little iffy about, because again, even when Swamp Thing was a big movie back in the 80s, it wasn't really my thing. And again, Doom Patrol sounds nice, but we're not really sure what's going on with that. So from DC's perspective, what they need to do is they need to explain to us what are we going to get out of this subscription fee, and what that subscription fee is going to be, because that's the next big question. Let's talk about that for a quick second. So right now, I did the math, and Netflix on average is between $7.99 for grandfathered people up to $11.99 if you want to get like the HD 4K special, blah blah blah. Now, I'll tell you guys a little story, very quick. Me and my wife love Game of Thrones. When I say we love Game of Thrones, we love Game of Thrones. I am a cord cutter. I no longer have traditional cable. I pay for internet, and everything else I stream. As long as I got an internet connection, I can find something to watch. But in saying that, I really believe in DC Universe, and I really think that they can provide us with a great content, and I have no issues in supporting said, situation going on with them. But the content needs to be there. I'm not gonna be paying like 10. I think as far as cost is concerned, I think they need to stay in line with their model that Netflix is charging. If they try to come out here with $20 a month for DC Universe service, that might be a bridge too far for people, to be honest with you. Honestly, I'm thinking anywhere between $10 to $15 is probably appropriate for this service, because they are giving you things like the animated movies. They're also giving you legendary films. They're also, giving you access to HD Batman the Animated Series, even though some of us already own that on DVD and Blu-ray, but, whatever. The biggest thing is if they're going to give us access to the comics. Now, let me tell you, I am of one of those purists where, I enjoy comics as well, but I like to flip the page in my hand. I like to kind of be one with the long box, so to speak. I find it weird to read regular American comics on an app. Not to say there's anything wrong with that. To me, it's just a little weird. But, funny enough, I'm also an avid manga reader, and that's 90% of how I consume my manga now, is that it's all digital. So I have an app. I pull up the app every week. There's a new manga that comes out. I read it. I consume it. I react to it, and I keep it moving. So at the end of the day, maybe DC is the company to kind of turn me around, because right now I do have access to Comixology, which is through my Amazon Prime. But, if this comes along, and again, I don't really normally read, DC comics. I've always been a Marvel guy when it came to comics. Don't ask me why. But anyway, that is also something that they're going to have access to for being a part of the service. One of the cooler things that I noticed that is going to really, really help them is the fact that this thing is going to be accessible on all mobile and devices. So that means if you have Fire TV Stick, it'll work. If you have an Android box, it'll work. If you have iOS, it'll work. If you have Apple TV, it will work. The only thing that I don't think it might not work on is a smart TV, but again, I would be surprised. But again, they also have access to members-only merchandise, so toys will go on sale on DC Universe, and the only people that could actually buy it are people who are already a part of the community. And again, I do agree with that wholeheartedly. There are a lot of people out there who are basically just dirty scalpers who try to buy up a whole bunch of toys and then try to sell them online for quadruple the price. So I do think as long as they can keep stock in place and that there's not like a super high demand for some of these things, we'll be able to get our hands on some of these exclusive merch. Just saying. And the last thing that they're going to be offering with the app is a connection with the DC community. Again, I do think that's a great idea. In theory, what the execution will look like will be a whole nother story. So, overall, I think this is a great start for DC Universe. It's okay to me that Young Justice has gotten, delayed until 2019. I think as long as you're giving us 24 episodes, I'm willing to forgive a couple of months of an extra wait for this show, because again, I've been waiting and waiting and waiting to get my hands on that show. Love me some Young Justice. Now, it's going to have Static in it. It's got so many characters. Like, I'm going to try to do a separate video that's just talking just about Young Justice Insiders. A little bit of a synopsis on the Harley Quinn show. It's essentially Harley Quinn being with the Joker for a long time. He really messed up to the point where she left him. So now it's just kind of her and her world and how she's doing things with criminals and how she's trying to run things with the girl power thing. Overall, very impressed with what I've seen so far. Now, again, with the pricing structure, like I said, it's imperative that they price this thing correctly, because, again, I am a huge Game of Thrones fan. My wife is a huge Game of Thrones fan. And we pay for HBO Go. We only pay for HBO Go when it's Game of Thrones season. Game of Thrones starts, we'll call up HBO. We'll say, hey, for the next 2 months, we'll be paying for HBO. But I promise you, we will cancel it when Game of Thrones is over. And sure enough, we do it every year. We get HBO Go just to make sure that no matter what, we are able to see Game of Thrones. And the second that it's over, we cancel that bad boy. I might forget it maybe 1 week or before I'm supposed to cancel it. But trust and believe, it won't be much longer than that, and I will cancel. And the reason why I say that is because I want DC to be coming out straight, guns blazing, just taking over the market. And there's an easy way that they can do that. They just need to focus on bringing great content to the service. Like, I'll be honest with you. It's a great buzzword to say, hey, you'll get access to all the Tim Burton Batman movies. Hey, you'll get access to all the Christopher Reeve Superman movies. You'll get Wonder Woman, a TV show. You'll be able to get Teen Titans. You don't like Teen Titans Go? Fine. Teen Titans Go is not even going to be here. Like, there's so much that they're offering, but is it really of value to the people is what I would challenge. Because again, I have access to 90% of what they've already been talking about. So for me, what the hook, line, and sinker of this entire situation is going to be is the original content. It's going to be Doom Patrol. It's going to be Young Justice Outsiders. It's going to be Swamp Thing. It's going to be all of those shows. It's going to be Titans. It's going to be all of those shows that prove to the audience why should I pay for this service month after month instead of just paying it one time, watching what I want to watch, and cancel it. So I don't know if that's a situation where the first season of a show that they bring out, they show all the entire episodes at one time, or season 2 they decide to release it in a format where it's like kind of like TV, where it's once a week. I don't know which one is better. Honestly, if I had to choose gun to my head, I'd prefer that you released everything in one shot and give me the opportunity to kind of go in and watch it at my own leisure. Netflix did a really good job at doing this. That's kind of what they do with Luke Cage. And I definitely understand and see exactly where his storyline is going right now. So, again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, guys. Just saying. But like I said, I don't want this video to be too long. I do want to go in depth a little bit later and talk a little bit more about Young Justice Outsiders, because again, that show in and of itself, I am very, very proud of. Like, I was working very hard to get this show back on. I was watching this thing on Netflix. I was tweeting. It was just madness. Like, I love me some Young Justice. That was the bread and butter of my channel back in the day. It was True Blood reviews. It was Young Justice reviews, and it was Legend of Korra reviews. Those were my bread and butter, and that's how I made my money. That's how I had, everything going on. It was fantastic. So, again, everything's looking great. One last thing I want to show you guys down bottom. And again, I'm not sure if I talked about this already, but you can sign up to be in the beta. You just got to give them your email address, and then boom, off you go. And up here, again, you just kind of we have a Batgirl signal here. I don't know if that's a comic or a digital series. We got the Batman animated series. We got the Titans. We got Young Justice. We got the photos. And again, I did hear that eventually they probably will be bringing in the CW shows to DC Universe as well. Right now, they have an exclusive deal with Netflix, so that as soon as the series end on CW, they get ported right over to Netflix. So I think once that deal is done, DC Universe will probably be pulling into its CW shows into the DC Universe as well. Now, whether or not they'll still air on CW, we don't know. But again, that's still just another possibility that could happen. So again, I want to know what you guys think. Are you excited about DC Universe? Are you willing to pay? How much are you willing to pay? Just comment in the section below. Follow me on Twitter. I'm actually with one of my buddies. We're launching a new podcast called Magnerd. I really hope you guys get an opportunity to check us out. You can actually find us on Twitter at Magnerd. Magnerd Podcast. That's a MAG Nerd Podcast. Again, we're going to be talking about music, we're going to be talking about anime, and we're going to be talking about video games. So I hope you guys are staying tuned, because we're going to be working on a lot of big stuff in the next couple of weeks. Showing up the King. I hope you guys have a fantastic day.